Hey guys, welcome back to the First Site Guide YouTube channel. I'm glad that you enjoyed our first podcast, me and Artem here. Today, we kind of want to go through a couple of questions when it comes to the YouTube comments we've been getting. Also, I got up and running with a whole new site for my blog, and I really used a lot of the principles that I learned with First Site Guide to be able to do that. So basically, when you're setting up a new site, one of the easiest ways to do that is WordPress. And I literally just went on ThemeForest, picked out a really nice looking theme, and got this all set up very quickly in a matter of about, I think it was like 3 hours maybe, to get all this thing set up with my blog. So a lot of the principles that we're sharing with First Site Guide are very easy to use. And we'll include some links down below also if you want to learn how to start your blog and to get it up and running within a matter of, less than 3 hours. Honestly, I'm really nitpicky.
It's 3 hours basically because you basically transfer an existing site with a bunch of content already out there. I mean, with some of the existing content. If you're just starting with new website or new blog, it's probably like 15 to 20 minutes, basically, right?
Yeah, I'm also super nitpicky. So.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, again, you have to do some pre-work, maybe like you have to pick the right theme and stuff like that, right? Because you have thousands of themes and you got to pick one. It's not.
I have more than 1,000 articles that I had to make sure it looks fine and everything. So
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So in terms of the questions today, basically we're drawing from a few different YouTube videos that we've done, and we're going to kind of just go through them, and we're going to ask Artem them, and I can also share some thoughts.
Yeah, and I guess let's ask our viewers. You guys leave more comments. We're going to be answering, everything we can. Every comment we can help newbies or new to the web guys to start stuff with.
Yeah, definitely. So we got a lot of comments for some of the top blog niches in this year, 2021, but we also had some questions. So one was from Challenges Hunter. This is about 4 days ago. He liked the video, but he was asking about the SaaS niche, the software as a service niche. What are your thoughts on that kind of a niche for starting a blog?
I think we even answered the comment. To me, SaaS niche is very good. I mean, it's a broader question because SaaS niche is going into SaaS. I mean, putting together software as a service product out there, or he's just talking about starting a website or blog about SaaS products in a specific niche, right? I mean, both ways are good to go. I mean, SaaS is a good niche, lots of volume, lots of keywords you can go after, depending on the like a specific topic, I guess, inside of the niche of specific topic you pick. But you can find if you are like starting an affiliate, trying to go with affiliate stuff, like you can easily find like SaaS products basically for any specific topic, right?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I would say with that is a lot of these SaaS companies like Lead Pages, ConvertKit, Bluehost, lots of different ones like Shopify, they all have affiliate programs. And the reason that they're able to is because software as a service is such a good business model that they're willing to compensate you for anyone that you bring as a new user. So I think it's actually a really strong niche because it's easy to get started with affiliate marketing, right?
Oh yeah.
As a blog.
Off the top of my head, like I cannot tell you exact products, but like you have SaaS products for anything, like managing your calendar or managing your, I don't know, pet shop or something like that, right? So you have a bunch of SaaS products out there. The SaaS products you mentioned, it's like a big brands, like with thousands and thousands of users. Yeah, but basically, SaaS products, it's a variety of products, right? Thousands and thousands of products, actually, SaaS products out there.
The other thing I would add is that when you are promoting a SaaS product, the end customer is going to be a business. And whenever you have a business as a visitor, they're much more likely to purchase things on your site if it helps them versus a customer that's more B2C. It's a little bit harder, in my opinion. But it really varies,
I mean, B2B or B2C doesn't matter because we've been doing some SaaS, like basically putting some content out there about SaaS products. You gotta be really specific, basically. Not really specific, but basically, let's say you put in a piece of content together. It's okay. You can just list like top 10 SaaS products, about this and that. But it's really good when you actually go and try the SaaS product, and you give your basically feedback. Okay, here's a list of 10, but I tried all of them. I like these 2 or these 3 products, right?
Yeah.
and you'll just list features you liked about them, pricings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whenever you go into SaaS, you have to do some homework, let's call it. You have to test them basically, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have to at least try it out before you recommend
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
One of the other questions here from Muhammad was, should we go for a macro niche or should we go for a micro niche? What do you recommend? What are your thoughts on that?
You can go either or. I think it's always good to, like, even if you pick like a broader niche, you can start like smaller, right? I mean, targeting some specific areas, right? And then you can always expand, right? I like the way, like, even with like, I think we just discussed it before. Like, with first aid guide, the first thing we basically, how we started, we put out a guide how to start a blog, and it was like 7 chapters guide, right? So we went with this, like a big in-depth piece of content, how to start a blog, and then slowly we started getting into some of the topics which are outcome out of starting a blog. Some additional, let's say, guides, or even just a smaller piece of content.
Yeah. The other
Yeah,
thing I would say there is that you should always, in my opinion, well, this is my opinion, I think you should always start with a micro niche, but it can be a part of a big macro niche, right?
yeah.
So like
That's
if you have,
what I'm saying.
yeah, if you have like fashion, it'd be really wrong just to start a blog on fashion. But if you start a blog on like one particular type of fashion or your story living in New York and you're showing off like your fashion, or it's more about that and that makes it a lot more interesting to me. Or like
Yeah,
eco-friendly fashion, like you're kind of
yeah.
niching down from that really big one. I think it's almost like a rule that you should do that.
Yeah, for
And
sure. Yeah, it's going to be easier to promote that content. You have smaller audience, but it's going to be easier to capture that audience, basically, right?
yeah. And whenever I've been a part of like a micro niche that's growing quickly, it almost doesn't matter how well my writing is or my blog is. If the like crypto is like growing quickly, you're going to
Yeah,
get ranked automatically, because the
yeah,
whole thing is growing.
yeah.
So it can really have a lot of opportunity there, I think, as well.
And basically, it's like with any website or blog, because we started a bunch of them back in the day, and we still growing our portfolio. It's always when you start it, you basically put together like a small content plan, right? And it's
Mhm.
usually, when you start out, it's always like maybe like 12 pieces of content, 10 pieces of content to start with. So it's always like better to start like narrow down your niche, basically, right?
Yeah, and kind of on that same train of thought, Ragnar asks, for someone who's new to this field, do you have a niche you would suggest that's not super hard for beginners, which you're just about to get into, kind of?
We talked about it before. I think you gotta start with the stuff you enjoy doing, first of all.
Yeah,
Could be
I agree,
fishing, it
100%.
could be
Yeah,
fishing, it could be anything, right? And then doesn't matter if you're beginner or not, you already have enough knowledge about that topic or niche, and then you are willing to learn more. So
hmm,
I mean, on another hand, like, if you look into like where you can get more, like, basically search volumes and stuff like that. But in any niche, you can pick specific topics where you have like it's a more search volume, or less, less people searching for certain things, right? Again, if you're looking specifically for some monetization, tactics or niches which you can easily monetize. But again, I would start with going into something that you're already doing, actually, maybe not even,
yeah,
because we'll have hobbies, or we'll like doing something, putting together puzzles, or whatever things you're doing. I think that's where you got to start.
yeah. I hate puzzles, but
Yeah. I mean,
everyone's
so
different.
so you gotta go with things you like to do, and basically double down on that, I guess, let's say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the reason is like intellectually, it could make sense for me to start a crypto blog, right? Because like it's a growing industry and it's like obviously becoming much more popular in the mainstream. But like, am I really interested in like teaching about crypto and learning about crypto? And like it's fun to use, but I don't want to like
Yeah.
spend that much time on like that. So it would not be a good interest for me, even though there's opportunity in the niche.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
basically the whole thing. Like, everyone knows crypto these days. Everyone, kind of, it's a big, buzz out there. But again, if you're not into that too much, you just know some basics and you're not into it. And I guarantee you have some people who are spending, a couple hours a day reading
They're
about
intense, like they're
different,
passionate.
yeah, different cryptocurrencies. Because you also have, the vary, I guess, one from another, like the Bitcoin Cash
There's
or whatever.
Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash.
Ethereum is a popular one. But even behind them, you have some different methods, I guess, or whatever you call, like mechanics, I guess, behind it, right? And if someone is really into that, that's the good, good niche, good to go after, right? Because you can present some things from the different angle, right? And then you're always gonna find your community. You're gonna find your audience who are into it as well, right?
So one of the questions that I think is a little bit more difficult is for people in the audience that have a blog that's not necessarily about like selling this product or like really niche down. This person, it says they have a blog they want to start that's in the form of a story with a character who represents them, and like they're doing more of a creative blog, right? What are your thoughts on like more creative kinds of blogs and starting with that?
To me, it's a way to go actually with blogging, right? But again, personally myself, I'm not a good storyteller. Like even though maybe I have some
I'm
good
sure you
stories.
got a lot of good stories, man.
Yeah, I have a
Montenegro.
good, I lived in like 7 countries and stuff like that. But you gotta be a good storyteller, right? Like even when like we all know, like if you have a group of friends, like there is always one guy who is like good storyteller, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So blogging, it's a good way to actually approach, but you have to be good at storytelling. It's always easier to write up some material with like kind of specific example with good like story behind it, right?
Yeah.
But again, you can slowly like learn it, I guess, get into it. But it's even a good like a big approach in marketing, right? Like storytelling, it's a big thing, right? And I actually enjoy those guys who can tell their story, because when you listen to it or read it, right? It's like you can some of the pieces of content you read, like you can really feel it and like, oh yeah, I've been there too, right?
Yeah.
So
That's a big one. And I think when I was getting started, I would kind of think of like a creative blog and I'm like, that's not going to make any money. But then if you go and you actually look at the blogs that do well, a lot of them are creative or have different creative elements. And like there are even services out there like Patreon now where you can get paid on a subscription basis per blog post, right?
Yeah.
And people can be a part of your little community. And it can be even go beyond just the blog. Maybe you create like a plush toy in the future, or like you create a mini book, right? There's a lot of little things that you can do to sell on the back of that. So that's, I mean, to me, that storytelling ability, like you mentioned, is very crucial. Also, the ability to get people to keep reading, right, throughout the blog and to really like emotionally hook them. So there's a different type of skill set that goes into it. But I think if someone has that kind of skill set, then it can be a really good match, right? And it can command a lot of attention, emotional feeling as well towards the reader.
Yeah. I mean, I even like a week ago, I was researching some of like popular articles. I mean, articles that are like becoming popular on Medium, and just looking at the titles of those articles, it's like basically it's a story, right? Like I think one of the girls who are successful in as a Medium writer, one of her biggest most article with most views, it's how much YouTube paid me with million views or something like that. So that's basically, she's right away up front, she's telling you a story, right? So she has a YouTube channel with like million views, and she's sharing the story how much she's making out of it, right? So that's it's a good approach for sure.
If you think about it too, like before blogs even existed, the online content that get the most views is news content. And news content is all just telling a story of like what happened today, or this thing happened. What's the story behind that? So, I mean, blogs and news are now kind of like interchangeable almost a bit, but it all started with storytelling as well.
Yeah, but even in our previous videos, that's why I'm mentioning like blogging as a pure blogging. If you look at it, like when it started, it was basically like a live, like your journal.
Journals, yeah.
So that's how it started, right? So that's one part of the like a blogging, right? Like these days, blogging a little bit, it changed a little bit. You can still do it, right? Like basically post every day about your life or your experiences, right? But blogging shifted a little bit in that way. It's like, so
Definitely.
basically with blogging right now, you don't have to like put out content every day, right? About your life, everyday life. You can do it, even once a month, but put out some great content, basically, with some interesting info, put in more, work into some maybe graphics, so make it visually, interesting as well.
Yeah. So do we want to do the last question here? Last question was from Skull Candy, was asking about the cannabis niche. What do you think about that?
It's a great niche.
It's legal. It's legal in Massachusetts too.
It's booming, right? Basically, we testing right now CBD niche, basically, for UK market. One thing I can say, Google is very picky with this kind of content. So you gotta be yourself, or you have to find really like legit writers about those topics. I think they call it Your Money, Your Life.
Is that a blog or?
No. That's how Google calls that type of content.
Oh, okay.
So anything related to like your money, your health.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Google is really picking about that content, right? So you have to have really like authority in that. You don't have to be like a doctor maybe, but you cannot like,
you have to make sure you're not putting out false information.
I have, I'm not a professional in that field, right? And Google tends to rank authoritative websites for those specific keywords. Basically, I'm talking like CBD. Basically, it's not cannabis, but it's same field kind of thing, right? So Google tends to rank like really authoritative websites for that specific niche, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're testing it basically as a test. We want to just to see see if it's gonna rank. But it's also weird. Like they're ranking like Forbes.com. They put a piece out there, best whatever CBD oil out there, and they rank.
They don't care. They're just trying to get as much traffic as they want.
Not just traffic. It's a good. It's a big affiliate market for sure.
Yeah, no, I think so too. The only thing I would say is like within that niche, it's really important to build a home base. So like to build your email list is far more important in my opinion than doing a lot of other things, because you have no idea how regulations are going to change around it. So at any point in time, Facebook might decide to ban your Facebook page, or Google might decide to penalize you. So it's like really important you build up your email list, because then no matter what happens, you'll always be able to navigate in that niche, right? And I think that would be a good way to go about starting that one. So we have other great videos also, I think, on building email list, right, on the channel.
Yeah. We've got those. Yeah.
So for those people that are listening, they can leave a comment and they can ask any questions that they have. Do you have any other like closing remarks you want to make on these?
Well, I would say just if you didn't start it yet, whatever your passion or whatever things you like to do, you can start putting out content about that specific topic or niche in any format. It could be blogging. You can start a blog. You could start a YouTube channel. But the sooner you start getting into that online world, I think it's gonna pay off in the short period of time, let's say.
And I mean, it's not rocket science. Like, there's all of the videos out there on the YouTube channel now for people to go and check with First Sight Guide. You have a ton of free education and knowledge on the site as well. So it's like, it's really easy to get started, and you just can follow step by step what other people have already done that are being successful, and just follow in their footsteps, And a lot of the times I think what holds people back is this fear, right? Of like fear of wasting time, or the fear of releasing something and then people having like an angry comment. But at the end of the day, like you owe it to follow through on your dreams, I feel, because no one else is going to do it for you, you know?
Oh yeah,
You got to do it yourself.
it's all you. Yeah, it's you gotta start one day and then just follow your vision, I guess. Let's say.
Yeah, I mean, life is so short, man. Like, I think at the end
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the day, you're going
time.
to
Yeah,
be regretting if you don't take action towards the things you really want in life, you know?
yeah. And again, like you mentioned it from your your experiences, right? Like you started with in one like kind of direction, one topic, and then you can always and you get
Grow,
so
yeah.
much experience in that. Not just grow, you can also switch or go go kind of another
Yeah.
different direction. You can change your niche. You can, but even if you do that for like half a year, you're gonna get so much experience. And whatever thing you start from, whatever other niche you start or any website after 6 months doing something, right? Doing some other, doing blogging in some other niche, it's gonna be so much easier, right?
Yeah, definitely. Awesome, man. Thank you for joining for another podcast episode. I think it was great,
Yeah.
and really invite people who are listening to leave any comments below so we can get to them on the next show.
Yeah.
And also, if you have any ideas, I think we might do affiliate marketing for the next show. But if you guys have any ideas of what you'd like us to cover, you can also leave a comment.
Yeah, for sure.